And there's
107.9 WWPH
Worldwide Radio. From the studios at West Windsor, Plainsboro High Schools, North and South, 107.9 FM, WWPH, Princeton Junction.
Welcome back to Divine 107.9. I'm your host, Calvin, and I'm joined by
Harrison.
And you're listening to Dead Air Tells No Tales. And I'm excited because it's June and we're about to graduate, and I'm going to try to make the best show as possible. And we have so many things to talk about, like the One Piece live action season 2 that I recently finished, High School South news, and the Rouge One movie, which is the Star Wars, and a lot of things. And we'll be right back on the Great 108.
Don't stop listening to 107.9. Tune in to our stream on Live 365. Don't stop listening. Catch our shows on Apple Podcasts.
Don't stop listening to 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Pump up your grades, pump it up while you're stressed out. And the grades are pumping, look ahead, guidance is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get talking with school counselors. See, cause that's where you can rely on and they'll help you out if you do that. You want a place to say, I have someone to rely on, make your day. A message from 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction.
You got the ear that's great for listening, and we play the trending music that you like. Brought to you by 107.9 FM.
It's your fate, the Great 108. Today, I have a lot of High School South news. And starting off, there will be a cross-country meeting in room 900C.
The cross-country meet will be on June 11th. There will be a scavenger hunt on June 11th for seniors as well.
Yeah, this is probably one of the exciting days for seniors, and you get to have the fun. And basically, you have to find a bunch of clues, and it leads towards something, and you get a prize. And on June 4th, today, the Students Run Club application is due.
Yes, there will be a spike ball tournament for the South Turf, which is really exciting, actually, really exciting.
Yeah, there is a homecoming theme will be the spaceship for next year, 2026 to 2027.
And then the green and gold draft is set, and you can look at it now.
And the draft is for a soccer tournament that the High School South holds them annually, which is pretty exciting. And I've never been to the games before. Have you?
No, I have not actually. I personally, I went to like some games before, like the football game I went to. That was like the last one that I went to. But besides that, I didn't go to any other games.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different very cool and exciting events in our school, especially with a gold and green game, and I wonder who's gonna win. And I'm pretty sure there's 4 teams. I believe there's and they play against in the tournament, and yeah.
And this will be really exciting for both North and South. Both just South. And yeah.
Yeah, we'll be right back with a short break.
We're Baby Back on 107.9 FM WPH in Princeton Junction.
Barbecue sauce.
107.9. Oh, so fine. As a One Piece fan, I recently finished the live action of season 2 of One Piece, and season 2 is about they're going to the Grand Line and to continue to adventure. This season adapts a whole bunch of arcs, like for example, Log Town, Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum Island. And they stop before Alabasta arc, which is my favorite arc of all time for One Piece.
Yeah, and there's different like you said, there's arcs, but that was in between those arcs is like them going into those towns and seeing different people, new people that from the new people before that we never seen before, which is like really nice and ties into like some like an organization that is a bad one.
Yeah, and right now the rating for the live action is 8.6 according to IMDb, and I have a lot of things to say. For example, like the foreshadowing and dimensions of the series that Harrison, I'm not sure, you probably won't not know, and these are foreshadowing, and I just pointed out as a One Piece fan. And for example, they have Blackbeard. Probably never heard of it because you only watch the live action.
But I have seen some clips, so I've seen like Blackbeard in the animated series, but never like.
And yeah, Sun God Nika. Probably don't know what that is.
No, yeah, no.
Prince Loki.
No.
Reverie or Levely. Elbaf, which is the current arc right now, is being animated and manga. Fishman Island, Sabo, God Valley, and Sanji's Prince revealing his second backstory, which he does eventually. And we'll be right back to continue the One Piece live action series review.
It's always better listening to 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
It's always a great time on 107.9. To continue our review, I mentioned about these foreshadowing and mentions. I'm surprised that they mentioned Blackbeard early. Blackbeard is supposed to be introduced in Jaya arc, which is before Skypiea. Sun God Nika was somehow foreshadowed before the new world, which is after Saturday Acapello. Prince Loki is somehow already being shown, which is in the Elbaf series arc, and Reverie, which is nobody knows about the Reverie and why it's there. And Elbaf was already mentioned because of obviously in the animated series in Little Garden arc, they already mentioned about Elbaf, especially with Brogy and Dory, my two favorite giants in the series, my goats. And Fishman Island, which is really interesting, is that they also mentioned Jinbei, which is quite honestly kind of interesting, and you get to see Sabo, and that's kind of interesting that I don't want to spoil to Harrison that Sabo is somehow in the live action. And God Valley, one of my favorite flashbacks in a manga, and also Sanji's second backstory that it will eventually, I just had to say out there. And yeah, what's your thoughts about these mentions of foreshadowing? You probably don't know.
These mentions are like really like nice. I particularly don't like really see them often because I don't watch the show, but I know that it's really nice to see the backstories and to see where they've been and where they are now, like where they like flashing back to where they've like been as a kid. I know they featured Miss Wednesday as like a kid, like they did a flashback to that. So
yeah, and we'll be right back with another review.
Don't let me down.
Listen to the station that'll never let you down. 107.9 FM, WPH in Princeton Junction.
Make a date with a great 108. To continue our One Piece talk, there will be the main characters obviously will be Monkey D. Luffy, Nami, Ronin, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, Nefertari, Vivi, Miss Wednesday. There's a young Vivi, which is really interesting, and Tony Chopper. I love Tony Chopper, and one of the star actor, Katie Sagal. I'm not sure you heard of her before. She was Leela in Futurama, a show, and the mother from Married with Children, and her name is Peggy Bundy.
Oh yeah, and when for me though, when I saw Tony Chopper, I was like kind of obsessed because it's like really cool to see how like it's like could be it's like that small of an animal, but like sounding that like the voice acting was spot on, and it was actually not, surprisingly enough. I watched the video. It was not spot. It was like the actress's, like the voice actress's voice from like the character. So that was really cool.
Yeah, and I thought it was pretty cool. And with Nico Robin, one of my favorite One Piece female character in the series, the Smoker, Tashigi, Crocodile, Mr. 9, Mr. 8, Mr. 5, Mr. 3, Valentine, Miss Golden Week, Dory, and Broggy. And I have a lot of issues with this because of the casting. It's not like one-to-one, but it's Oda's decision. And the mentioning Oda characters is like too early, and it's really weird.
Yeah, and sometimes like we have these things where like if like for example, for Disney they try to like have like these live action movies, and sometimes it doesn't work out really well, but it ends up like, I guess, for the audience working really well. So
yeah, and we'll be back soon with more One Piece talk.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. In the 108, the greatest station. Feel the goosebumps with our great music in the great 108.
Last on the dial, first in your heart, it's 107.9 FM. And lastly, to wrap this up, I have to mention the future. It is great for people who don't watch and want to watch 1,160 plus episode, or doesn't watch anime, he wants to watch like live action, and it's good for Harrison, which is he does not want to watch.
Yeah, because the episodes are very long, and sometimes
it's not long for
how many episodes?
It's 24 minutes per episode, which is not that bad.
It's like
live action.
When you count it up, like do the math, it's like a lot of hours you're spending there, like watching it and just, I guess, sitting there. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I would say that it's a good rewatch for people who like kind of forgot, like me. I already forgot some parts of it, and they're already going to adapt with later arcs, like for example, Skypiea, Water 7, Enies Lobby, Sabaody, Acapello, Just Rosa, Whole Cake Island, Wano / Onigashima, Egghead, and even Elbaf. And I expect them to adapt all of them, and I think they're going to still continue it. And casting for the future will be interesting. For example, like Big Mom, Jinbei, Beppo, Skeleton Brook, and a whole bunch of characters that are hard to cast. And we'll be right back on the Great 108.
107.9 FM is the hottest station around. Listen to 107.9 FM WPH in Princeton Junction.
WWPH Princeton Junction.
Pirate Radio, Night Radio, 107.9 FM, The Flash.
Good afternoon, this is Calvin with the 107.9 FM Campus Flash for Thursday, June 4th, 2026. Seniors will be celebrating like it's 1920s as High School South gets hyped for its Gatsby-themed senior prom. The prom will take place on June 5th. It will be a night full of dancing Gatsby-style opulence, and most importantly, tons of memories with friends. Students at a local high school are encouraged to show up to school in their mascot colors to raise spirit and spread positivity. Westminster High School shares their spirit each week on Friday by wearing A local high school is indulging music. West Windsor Plainsboro High School North has brought back an old tradition of musical Fridays where fun tunes play in between every class. In other news and community news, a community is coming together for an evening of music. The annual Princeton Festival will be held at Morven Museum and Garden, featuring jazz shows, theater production, orchestral concert, and operas performance from June 5th till the 21st. Checking your local weather. The current temperature is 87 degrees and it's currently partly cloudy. Look ahead for hot temperatures. The high is only 91 degrees and the low is 62 degrees. This has been Calvin with a 17.9 FM Campus Flash for Thursday, June 4th, 2026.
Up in the sky, it's a bird.
No, it's a plane.
No, it's 107.9 FM.
This is Calvin on 107.9 FM. I drive a hatchback Honda Fit 2017 model. It was light, fun to drive, and had very good control. The downside with the car was holding the top end speed and poor traction. When my dad drove the car, he realized that my mileage had gone down to 250 miles, and he said the mileage was about 300 miles. He explained that I have been driving my car way too aggressively. I thought about it and realized that I had been driving aggressively. I had been accelerating hard, like I was on a F1 track. If you don't know anything about cars, if you accelerate too quickly, you will use too much gas, then steadily accelerating. Just to know, I have a small tank, so about 8 gallons. I only fill up my gas about $20 and for every 2 weeks. As time goes on, mileage numbers got up gradually. It went from 250 miles to 270 miles, then 270 miles to 290 miles, then finally at 290 miles up to 310 miles. I learned not to accelerate hard and drive normally. I think you don't need to drive as fast, but up to the speed limit. You are not in a rush going to school, unlike some people. Also, that I can save money filling up gas. This has been Calvin on 107.9 FM.
107.9 FM in Princeton Junction, home of the pirate and the knight of our West Windsor Plainsboro district, and the it girl of our teen generation.
It's always a great time on 107.9. To wrap this up, this podcast, I have something special, which is the Star Wars Rouge One movie review. And the movie takes place before Episode 4, A New Hope. And this is about Jyn Erso and a group of rebellion fighters on a mission to steal Death Star plans from the Galactic Empire. The mission is dangerous, and it gives Rebel Alliance information that needed to destroy the Death Star. And most of these people are not expected to make it out.
Yeah.
And the main characters are Jyn Erso, Cason Andor, which I'm watching Andor right now, K2SO, Tourette, Basie, Bodhi, Galen Erso, Director Orson and Kernak, Saul Gurnan, and Darth Vader. The voice will be James Earl Jones.
Yeah, some of the famous scenes that I personally, in my opinion, like is the Battle of Scarif, and then also the Darth Vader hallway scene. That Darth Vader hallway scene was so iconic, and it's set up the next. Well, maybe the original first movie that in the 70s that came out, it went back to there, which is how I guess the trilogy of the 70s started. So
yeah, and Battle of Scarif was pretty amazing, and then the K2SO sacrifice hit me really hard, and then Jyn speech to the rebels, was pretty cool. The transmission of the Death Star plans was pretty cool, and Princess Leia receiving the planes, and that's how they wrapped up the whole movie, which is pretty good.
Yeah, the ratings really got I think a high 7.8 out of 10 in the IMDb scores, and which was really nice because it was made in like a while back in 2016 December, and I remember watching it and I remember liking it because it was a really good movie that was actually had surprised me and didn't know that it kind of like tied into the other movies, and the release time is 2 hours and 13 minutes of watching time, so it's really nice.
Yeah, it took me like 10 years to finish because I didn't get to finish. Yeah, the rating does not really speak to itself. I think it's a really good movie, especially this is, I think, would be my second favorite movie of the Star Wars series, and IMDb rating was a 7.8, which is kind of okay rating, and then the Rotten Tomatoes score was at 84%, and this concludes the whole podcast. Thank you for listening to Dead Air Tales No Tales, and I've been your host, Calvin
and Harrison,
and I have been joined by
Harrison as well,
and you're listening to 17.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction.
WWPH Princeton Junction.